Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. And I was kind of leaning toward uh, not looking like I'm jumping right on this because everybody's on it, but in a way, it's very hard to ignore since you're seeing it on TV all the time. And even damn near all of my favorite YouTubers, even the independent creators who I look at, have done a video on it, big or small, and she's every fucking news outlet that has a YouTube channel showing up in everything. And I'm still hearing on my TV news the train derailment. The East Palestine train derailment. See, I can list a bunch of YouTubers, a whole bunch of them, every one of them that I'm subscribed to, and look at everybody from the Fullerton Informer, Joe Rogan, Sticks Hex and Hammer 666, who does political videos, better hair and less bald than me, and probably about a decade or so younger than me too. He did videos on. Who hasn't done videos on this? Actually, I can drive to. I'm in Western Pennsylvania. I can drive to both the Ohio and West Virginia border both at the same time in about an hour because I actually have a picture in my head places that I went by frequently with family members down that area, and you can the same distance where you can go to the West Virginia and Ohio borders both at damn near in the same amount of time as far as mileage, and it's quite sad. It's something that you don't want to take lightly, and you see it every day. You sort of want to express something about it. And I'm going to try to make up my mind which aspects of this that I wanted to talk about. But I'm going to say right now, any YouTubers here and there or people that if they want to say it was done on purpose, I'm not going to argue with you, but there is a lot of things that I noticed that I agree with a lot of the other YouTubers about, in a sense that the blatant disregard and how it was handled, they might as well have did it on. Even if you don't want to commit to saying somebody did it on purpose and be tinfoil hat about it, like I said, I would not come over here. I feel real bad for those people. I would definitely not come over here and want to unwittingly insult or offend any of those people. Look like I'm using that situation to get any kind of fame on YouTube. Hell no. I'm just saying all kind of other people are expressing their stuff about it, and I'm okay with everything they're saying, and I have partial agreements with a little bit of everything, and just like them, I have mixed feelings in my head all by myself, and it's not to be tinfoil hat about it, right, and not to exploit a tragedy or anything like that. You kind of want to express a mixture of anger and different things like that, and a fuck you to certain parties that act like they care about those people that don't. And here, if you got this far in this video, one thing I wanted to say, and I commented, I don't want to grift off of Sticks Hex and Hammer 666. I've made comments on his video agreeing with him on a lot of his stuff, but here's some of the things I said to sum up. Yeah, and if you want to go to his YouTube channel and listen to his things about it, very articulate, I would recommend it. And basically, I commented on his video for once. I saw the Joe Rogan version of it, which was very sad. That one guy cursing out the in neighborhood communities, a big plume of smoke. And it's like, anyway, I'm going to tell you right now what I wrote on his channel when he was talking about it. I said I agreed with a version of what he was saying. I'm putting it this way, not to be tinfoil hat about it, but I'm saying that even if somebody didn't, you don't want to believe somebody did it on purpose. My thing about it is the idea that they actually took that shit and just lit it up like that, like a controlled burn. I put it on comments on his channel and other people. I put it this way: I'm calling the controlled burn an equivalent to walking up to the citizens of East Palestine with a cigarette and blowing smoke in their faces. That's I don't care what anybody says. I'm basically agreeing with a lot of other YouTubers. You know what I mean? In my own way. In my book, they lit that shit up. Damn. Actually, just thinking about it and talking about it making me cough. No joke intended. But anyway, like, holy shit. Yeah, excuse me, a little bit of a cold that I had going on there, but I should edit that part out of the video. But yeah, in it, definitely not a joke. Jeez, I'm trying to talk about it, I'm actually coughing. Can you believe that? That's how I feel about it. They might as well have walked up to each of those people with a cigarette or a cigar and blew smoke in their faces. You know why I feel that way is because if people want to look up, and there might be some people on their shills or whatever, if they care about my video enough to troll me or not, and try to correct me here and there. But in the back of my head, if you guys, whether you that know me, you want to look this shit up and put your feedback in it, you can let me know. But I'm gonna say my reason why they didn't have to light all that shit up. Anyway, I worked many jobs on assignment. I used to, before the pandemic, I used to, not to tell my whole life story, I worked factory jobs steady, but then other circumstances happened, and I ended up working for a agency that would send you all kind of places. Everything from janitorial to pushing broom in factories, washing factory windows, construction stuff, slinging a shovel, which I'm going to tell you, like one of my construction assignments, this relates. For example, they dug ditches, pouring cement, and they got like rebar in there and put plastic things on each of the pieces of rebar so you don't get impaled, but eventually the masonry people put the blocks in. Okay, when they sent some of us over there on job assignments, a subcontractor, for example, a contractor would subcontract himself out to the people that were doing the big running the show in a construction thing that they were adding to a hospital with my assignment. Okay, so anyway, I'm getting to that. Anyway, they call some of us for help, and anybody tells you to do something, you do it, right? Well, construction, you get rain. When they dug them ditches, they're ready to do everything, and they don't want a rainy day, right? And it washes all kind of shit in there, water, mud, and dirt, and everything else, right? So they had to get people to dig it out by hand. So call some people from the outside, get subcontractors to get maybe whatever agency they contacted. Me, a bunch of other people, right? We're digging out this mud. And here's where I get in it, types of pumps, okay? Because I'm saying this, getting to the point, because, they pump out, I don't know everything about that shit, but they pump that shit in the trains when they ship it by rail, right? And then let it out, or wherever its destination, probably pump it out, but they pump the fucking shit in there, right? So anyway, my little construction assignments, I'm trying to tell you, getting to the point where, in what I was doing, because there was a bunch of water in there, and we were digging out mud, we were kind of almost leg deep in there. While we were digging out, while we were digging out the mud, they had a hose, pumps, but they put hoses in there, like pumps to suck out all the water, because the rain suck out all that water, and wherever the water goes, but get out of the ditches and all that. And then we fix up everything that got washed, take all the slimy mud, slinging it out there with shovels, right, cleaning that up out of there. Because like I said, they didn't want, during construction of that kind of stuff, they don't want a bunch of rain to come. They wish it don't rain, but when that shit gets washed in there on the rain, they got to get somebody to dig the shit out. And when rain gets in, I'm comparing this to water. Somebody might be giving me funny looks, but My case is, right, we had hoses and pumps to pump the fucking water out, right? And maybe some of you people might be trying to correct me here or be assholes about it. I don't know. Maybe that stuff is pretty volatile. You don't want any kind of pump equipment to ignite that shit. I don't know what state it's in. Maybe there you can't pump it out with any kind of pumps. But anyway, since I've encountered or experienced or been around stuff that pumped water out of things that a liquid, and I'm saying that they probably, instead of setting not all on fire like it, why couldn't they pump at least 3/4 or most of it out, right? As much as they can get, hose and a pump a thing into another tank or trucks or something, right? Oh, set it all on fire, a big plume of smoke, and your so-called environmentalist and your president that we have right now, Joe Biden, oh, global warming, greenhouse gases. Oh, somebody just, and with all that environmental shit that you hear on the news shoving down your throats all the damn time, nothing against common sense, protect the environment and stop pollution, which is the thing, our president preaching about that shit, grandstanding, right, which our old former president that lost the second round, former President Donald Trump went there to visit, Joe Biden didn't. It's like, I don't want to grift off of some other YouTuber I was saying, but I'm going to quote him here. Sticks Hexenhammer 666 and a list of other YouTubers, Fullerton Informer, and Joe Rogan probably said versions of this. Oh, they're just some hick town. It's nothing to really grandstand about. Putting them last, and I'm saying, with everybody, even the president preaching global warming and pollution, right? Who the fuck just gave somebody permission and just allowed them just to let out a big plume of smoke like that? They couldn't have pumped the fucking shit into a truck with something that took me a little while in this video to describe. I wanted to try not to go on and on about it, right? But like I said, if any of you guys know more about equipment, if you want to sensibly express an opinion why maybe that can't be done, I'd have respect for you if you're not going to be an asshole about it. But up the top of my head, come on, they got to have some kind of fucking equipment that they could have pumped that shit into trucks, not just light it all up. And a guy, I saw the Joe Rogan clip when he was talking about it, guy in a neighboring community, which a community I know very, very well, a place called Darlington. Joe Rogan played this clip, and the guy was really cursing and F-bombing the hell out of them people for that plume of smoke. He's saying, look at this fucking shit all over Darlington. And, which makes you sad and pissed off. You're basically sad for those damn people. And I will repeat it again. Because of what I saw on that Joe Rogan clip, I feel like it was like the hypocrisy, our president up there and all kind of other people. Oh, this stuff preached about EPA and environment, right? And somebody just fucking allows them just to light it right up. They get permission just to light that shit right up. Somebody gonna, if anybody wants to correct me otherwise, my point is, come on, they couldn't have some kind of pumps and hoses to pump that fucking shit into a truck. I don't care what anybody says, I ain't buying that shit. And if you got this far in this video, and I'm going to say too, I'm partially, not that I'm committed to saying somebody just did it on purpose to a town, but my thing is why I'm partially agreeing with some of these people not to be tinfoil hat about it is, like a passive aggression, it's like taking a cigarette and blowing smoke in their faces. Say nobody did it on purpose. The lighting, I think, was done on purpose, like blowing smoke from a cigarette in the face of the citizens, right? And if you got this far in this video, my point is, somebody doesn't like tight-knit communities. This may sound a little harsh, but if you got this far in this video, it really looks to me, and a lot of other people, nothing important enough for anybody to grandstand about it. They're just, they happen to be, if you ask me, it's like a type of passive aggression. They don't like tight-knit communities that not that I want to bring all this other special interest groups into it, but a list of special interest groups that I'm not going to go on and on about relates in a way because, well, dovetailing into what they want to make the public school teach everybody's kids. They want to get rid of the old ways. They despise the old ways, and they despise, somebody despises tight-knit communities that, for example, there's too many of them and they're too far apart, scattered, too many scattered pockets of this for them to dictate and re-educate all at once. So if they see the opportunity, you know what I mean, and in a way, some of them, I think they're almost hoping to hell that they all want to leave the town, or they would love it if an executive order by government wanted to declare the town abandoned. You know why? Because there's a lot of people would love that, to have the town declared abandoned or make people leave. And whether you want to say FEMA or any group, conveniently break up a tight-knit community, and we can't put you in your own new town and build you a whole new town, so we're gonna displace you and disperse you, right, and put you in maybe this public housing wherever we can fit you, and you conveniently won't be a tight-knit community anymore. You'll be in low-income housing with a lot of people, not to group them all together, but next to, I don't want to call all people in low-income housing scumbags, because me and my partner were in what was called public housing and low-income housing, right? And some places are better than others, drug-ridden. And what they want to do, make everybody the same. Bust up conveniently act like you're not doing it on purpose. Got to put you somewhere, arrange and get you in some kind of public housing, and then you won't have no more self-esteem and walk around proud anymore. You'll have to be nice to the OG or whatever group, and I'm not going to say anything because of anybody's race, because, matter of fact, there's some really cool black YouTubers that are against all the bullshit that will tell you some of the things that I would like to say, but I'm not going to go on here. I'm not going to say anything because of anybody's race or because of anybody's affectional preference, but I'm going to say this, that all the new things that they want to do away with the tight-knit community and some of the older ways, and do away with their social strength and self-esteem, maybe use a convenient catastrophe, or maybe have more convenient catastrophes happen, right? Yeah, and like I said, if you got this far in this video, not to ramble, it would make sense, right? You're away from all your neighbors and all your security, right? And you're in some different housing places, all dispersed and separated. Maybe certain people that are related that were closer will be brought farther apart. Then they can be controlled by the rules of whatever housing development, housing complex, building, or neighborhood they're in, and be told what to do and harassed or whatever. You know what I mean? They have to find a way to conveniently undermine a certain type of tight-knitness and unity. And there's a lot of videos about that. Everything from make it certain people, both black and white, on the leftist side of the tracks, talking about people's whiteness. If you're a tight-knit community and don't bother anybody, and you have too much self-esteem, and you happen to be a town that's geographically not located near any of these liberal cities, right? These people would want to see tight-knit communities like that busted up, and you get that's discrete type of communism. Tight-knit community, where they get their social strength, any kind of take advantage of any type of circumstance, and get them all broken up put into this housing project, You know what I mean? Taken out of a house when they once owned a house and they're reduced to... It's a convenient way to make everybody the same. And even if you want to bring all that other shit about what they're trying to regender your kids in the public schools, they got to break up the families and the family influence and the tight-knit community influence in the old ways. Because that's in the way, you know what I'm saying? Even if you don't believe all that I'm saying, if you think I'm saying things that are a little too much or far-fetched, one thing for certain is that there's a very blatant passive aggressiveness about this derailment thing. I mean, if you don't believe me, you may want to watch maybe the version of the anger from the guy on Joe Rogan's video about it, and that's what it's like. They're put last on the list, even with the president. You got Buttigieg. He's trying to act like he cares, you know, and make these speeches or whatever. But I'll tell you once again, before I end this video, I don't think I'm going to get too pissed off if somebody corrects me about certain equipment over that. But I'm not buying that they had to light that shit up. If somebody wants to disagree with me about certain kind of ways or equipment or something. But like I said, I still think that they could have pumped that out with some kind of pump and hoses right into trucks. And if they lit any of it up at all, way less of it, maybe I can almost say maybe they didn't have to light maybe much or any of it. Yeah, coughing when I'm thinking of talking about it. But try it. Some kind of pumps that they could have used to pump that stuff out of there in the trucks. I can't say that enough. Light that whole bunch of shit up. That goes totally against the everything your president, our current president, preaches, and environment. Every single thing about global warming, air quality, and pollution. Like I'm not an idiot, and a lot of other YouTubers and the people of East Palestine ain't idiots. Hearing all that environmental stuff pounded in people's heads, you know, we're responsible for global warming and pollution. Yet somebody gives them the permission to light all that fucking shit up. I'm not buying it. I'm not fucking retarded, neither is anybody else. I mean, it's the most, everything that they try to tell you about lighting that shit up, that's some of the most, sarcastically speaking, that's some of the most succulent morsels of bullshit that they ever created, telling us and shit on TV. Yeah, and then you conveniently probably wouldn't even try to grow anything in a garden that you could eat in that soil, even though they got cleaned up. You probably wouldn't want to chance it in growing green peppers or tomatoes. It's another convenient thing too, huh? And if and I know I'm going to end this video here real soon, but there also is like executive orders in the books. Even though Alex Jones have once said it, just because he said it, there's all kind of people, you can look it up, there is, under a lot of circumstances, the government could order entire towns to actually get, you know, evacuated if you don't make them leave their cells. I mean, yeah, there is some stuff set up by government that they can declare things abandoned. That does exist, but I don't see any. I don't see anybody going or suggesting that or doing that yet, and I don't think they're going to do that. But like I said, there are people that would like to, if they could, make that worse. Like I said, it seems like they showed a passive-aggressive disrespect for tight-knit communities, even if they're not trying to make everybody leave. Can't say that enough.